welcome to Adventures of Deanna. This is the ABCs of weight loss, and today we are covering the letter N. So, in this series, every week we get together and we talk about the letter of the week. And for this week, the letter is the letter N. So, while we're waiting on everybody to join in, I would appreciate it if you would type in the chat. What do you think the word or words that we're going to be covering today are? They need to start with the letter N. That is the whole big thing that we need to do today is talk about the words that begin with the letter N. We were supposed to do this last week, but I was sick, and my apologies, but there was just not going to be a live stream last week. I was out, just down and out. I'm feeling better. I'm on the mend. I'm still not 100%. You're going to hear I have some contagions. I want to make sure that everybody knows. I want to make sure that everybody can hear me all right. So let me know if you can hear me all right in the chat. I think you can. I just did a little test to make sure, and I think you can hear me. Forgot to make a drink. What are you drinking, Miss Misty? What kind of drink do you have today? More vodka, a little bit of hair of the dog, maybe? I don't know. I have a new beautiful flower arrangement that I made. It had been sitting on my desk for a couple of weeks. I bought all the things to make my arrangement, and then I got sick and had no energy to even put fake flowers in a vase. Like, it was that bad. So they had just been cluttering my desk, and I finally finished it today, and I think it's absolutely adorable. So I'm pretty happy about it. So again, we are talking about words that begin with the letter N today, and I would appreciate for you to put in the comments down below what you think, what words we're talking about. As far as, if you're new here, if you've never caught the ABCs of weight loss, again, we talk about, I pick a letter each week and we go in order of the alphabet. So next week it's going to be O. And then I pick a word or words and we talk about those words and how they relate to weight loss. So they're going to be weight loss related words, not, words like nincompoop. I don't think that one nice. I don't know if nice is the word that we're going for today, but have a big salad to enjoy while we talk about weight loss. That's excellent. I had a salad for lunch. It was a Caesar salad. It was delicious. Very, very good. Yum, yum, yum. So, my laptop's not plugged in and it's going to die. Hold on one second while I try and figure this out. Okay. Nice is a good word. Nice is a very good word. It is not the word of the day. It is not the word of the day. So we need more guesses. More guesses for the word of the day. I hope y'all have some water to drink while you're here today. Do 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 do. Hello, Miss Val. How are you? So glad you came to join. I do know you're bad at this game. You got it right the last time. You got it right. So you're not all that bad. Not all that bad. Hello, Val. So yesterday I went and got a COVID test, but I don't have my results back yet. But I was sick for like a week before I even had my test. So I don't even know if it's going to come back like with the real response. Like maybe I had COVID but got over it. And by the time I got tested, it was already out of my system. I don't know, but I have the work function that I'm supposed to go to on Thursday that I need to have a negative COVID test for. So we're going to see how that works out. I am feeling much, much better. I was able to go out for a walk today with Loki and do chores, do some house cleaning, like things I haven't been able to do in days. So I am so thankful. We are guessing words that start with the letter N that we may or may not be talking about today. Nice is not one of them. Oh, I missed a guess. Nutrition. Nutrition. Nutrition is a very good guess for a word. And I'm not talking about nutrition today because I am not a nutritionist. I am not a registered dietitian. I have absolutely zero qualifications to talk about nutrition. So we're not going to talk about it because I am not qualified to talk about it. I could spew like knowledge and whatever about nutrition, which is really like minuscule. I don't have much. But because I don't have much, because I don't have any credentials, I should say, I'm not going to be talking about nutrition today. I want to leave that to the people who have gone to school, who have studied, who know, who. Now I'm going to cough. Oh no. Oh no. Go away. Go away. Tickle in the throat. Go away. I'm not going to talk about nutrition. Ooh, Wicked. I loved Wicked. Yes. I got to go to Wicked as a perk from work. I knew the coughing was going to happen. I'm so sorry. Coughing just recently started, and now it's like down in the chest. It's going to be another week before I'm fully good. I fell asleep during Wicked, but I think I was just really tired that day. I don't I don't think it was a representation of the show at all. So we only had one guess. Dice and Nutrition. 2 guesses for the word in for the week. 2 guesses. And if you're watching the replay, please be sure to leave your comments below. Like, what's your guess? What's your guess for the word in? We haven't started yet. We don't know. Still a mystery. Leave it in the comments what you think the word might be. And then let me know if you were right or not. Yeah, the cough is always the last thing to go. The cough just lingers. I was so like hoping it wouldn't go there because it hadn't gotten to my chest yet. So I was really thinking that I was going to get lucky and it wasn't ever going to get there, but not so lucky. And again, my apologies. Okay. Ooh, N is for natural. Natural way to lose weight. That's a great word. I love it. Very good. That is not the word that I was going to go with. The word I'm going to go. We're going to do. It's 4:10. It's time. We're doing the word non-scale victory. NSV. 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 Non-scale victory. Why do you think that celebrating non-scale victories is important? Why do you think that celebrating non-scale victories is important? Hello, Miss Cheryl. Thank you for joining. I so appreciate you. Weeks. Oh my gosh. And you exercise daily. Mm, mm. Okay, it's a bunch of words, but it counts. It counts. I take liberties with the ABCs of weight loss. It's my channel. I can do what I want. Non-scale victory. Or is it just hyphenated? Or is non-scale one word and victory is a second word? Or is it 3 words? Or is it Anyway, it's the word of the day. It's the word of the day. Weight loss is only one representation of changes in our life. That is correct. Weight loss is only one representation. And really, when I think about all the times that I've stepped on the scale, and I think about all the weeks and all the weigh-ins and all of everything, you know what excites me the most? When the seatbelt fits. When I could sit in that booth at that restaurant where I used to not be able to sit in the booth, or I'd be there like uncomfortable and the booth would be like pressing up against my stomach and I'd be all uncomfortable. Um, those are the moments that are exciting to me. Whenever I was able to like get this fence down in my yard, whenever I was like able to fit through that little fence line, that was exciting. That was amazing. The day that I was able to just nonchalantly bend over and tie my shoes, that was amazing. And I felt more joy and more pride and more excitement and more everything out of those moments than I ever did whenever I stepped on the scale and said, oh, yeah, you reached the next milestone. The non-scale victories. Those moments are what we're doing all of this for. Those moments. When you can get down on the floor and then get back up and it's not as big of a deal as it used to be, that's what it's all about. When you can go to the store and you're in the store for 30 minutes and you realize that your back's not hurting where it used to hurt in 10 minutes, that's what it's about. It's about these non-scale victories. It's about the non-scale victories. So I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me, excuse me, what is something that happened recently to you that is a big non-scale victory? Or what is one of the biggest non-scale victories that like really is a memory for you? Or if you haven't had a non-scale victory yet, what is something you're looking forward to happening to you? He's getting there good. I'm so glad to hear that Rick is getting there. If you only focus on the number, you'll miss all the new things about you as you also drop the weight. So true. Muscle weighs more than fat. Yep. Fitting into stuff is my favorite. Yes. I didn't even know people. I didn't even know that people tied their shoes standing up. Sometimes you have to. Like whenever I'm on a walk and I forget to double knot my shoes, they come untied. It used to be that I'd be out on the walk and my shoe would come untied and I'd have to wait and just let my shoe be untied until I came across like a ledge or somewhere where I could hike my foot up and tie my shoe and still be out of breath, like trying to bend all the fat over and stuff and tie my shoe. But now I can just bend over and tie my shoe in the middle of the street like it was nothing. It's amazing. And I don't fall over either. Also amazing. I don't get nearly as mad. Nearly as mad. Keywords there. Nearly as mad at the workouts that go from sitting on the floor to standing up, sitting on the floor to standing up. Sometimes I'm like, why can't you just do it all at once? Like floor work, standing work, floor work. Why do we have to go up and down and up and down and up and down? I bet you did. Cough for 10 minutes, have to restart. I bet it's really challenging. Oh, that was such a great video whenever you said that you could tie your, and you were like, you were walking and you're like, what am I going to do with this jacket? And then you're like, hey, wait, some people tie their jacket around their waist. I wonder if I can do it. And then you were like, oh my God, I'm one of those people now. I can tie my jacket around my waist. Like, that's so cool, isn't it? Like, that's amazing. It was fun. Tying your shoe, you're going to try and tie your shoe right now. I bet you can do it now, especially with all the exercise you've been doing. But not being able to wear maternity clothes was a non-scale victory. Also, how hard is it to get out of maternity clothes? Like I don't have any kids. I've never worn maternity clothes. But I can imagine they're just so dang comfy. Like it's so hard to like transition back to regular clothes after wearing maternity clothes. You're like, oh, but they're just so comfortable. My stomach never hurts. Comfy. Like walking normal down the stairs. Yep, so huge. Yay, you can totally tie your shoes standing up. See? I just did it one day out of necessity. I was trying to be I think I have a cough drop in here. I was trying to be sneaky and not alert the dog that I was putting on my tennis shoes. Because anytime I put on my tennis shoes, he gets so it's a lifesaver in my halls. Okay. Ah, halls. So I was trying to put on my tennis shoes and not let Loki know that I was putting on my tennis shoes. And so I was being really quiet about it. And I thought, okay, if I just put them in here while I'm standing up, it won't like draw any attention. And it didn't. And lo and behold, I could just stand up and tie my shoes on. It was amazing. It was amazing. I put them on, tied them, took them off. That's so me. I'm wearing Ugg boots right now, so they're like my house slippers anymore because it's cold in the house, and so I need to keep my feet warm. So I wear my Ugg boots like as slippers all the time in the house. I'm proud of her too. I used to hang on and kind of pull myself up, and now I walk right up them. Uh, One of the big differences for me is actually walking down the steps. My husband used to always complain that I was like, boom, boom, boom. So sorry. Boom, 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 boom. Walking down the steps. And now I can control my, I don't know, heft. I don't know, and walk down quieter. I don't always try to do it. But when I try, I can do it. But like before, I couldn't. It was a big thing. Bye. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you so much. So, 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 so much. So, what other Candy got in the way. What other non-scale victories were big for you? Were a huge moment? The funny thing about non-scale victories is that they sometimes they sneak up on you. You don't realize what's going on, and then it's like weeks, months, and then you're like, well, how long have I been doing this for? Like, sitting cross-legged was one. Being able to cross my legs in a chair. I can only do it in certain chairs. It's not in all chairs just yet, but sitting cross-legged. Well, good luck, Val. I hope you get the right result for your test so you can go to Wicked. Um, so there's a lot of talk in weight loss about airline seatbelts and worrying about, having to get the seatbelt extender whenever you're on an airplane. But and I'm so sorry. I didn't want to cancel again, and I really apologize for all the coughing. Oh, that's a huge one. Increasing your weights. I'm lifting it as a non-scale victory. It shows I'm getting stronger. That is a huge one. Increasing your weights. But um, my car seatbelt. So when I first started my weight loss journey, I was at the end of the road for my seatbelt in my car. Whenever it was wintertime and I had on a coat and a sweater and all the things, I would have to pull the seatbelt all the way out in order to get it to buckle. There was no room. And I was on the verge of having to get a seatbelt extender for the car. But one of my non-scale victories is that I do not need to yank and yank and yank on that seatbelt anymore in order to pull it across and get it to buckle. That's a huge one. Also, the room that I have in my car between, my stomach and my steering wheel, I'm 5'3". I'm a shorty. I gotta pull my seat way up. My husband's always, he's 6'6" and a half, 6'6". I don't know. He's tall. He's always like, why you got this seat? I'm like, cause my feet don't reach the pedals, dude. But he's always, you know, so I got short little legs. I gotta pull my seat up. But now I got room between that steering wheel and my stomach, and that's a huge non-scale victory. Hello, Alan. So glad you could join us today. We are talking about non-scale victories. So if you would like to share one of your non-scale victories with us, that would be amazing. Awesome. I have a Honda Fit, which is tiny. I feel like it's twice as big inside these days. This cough drop keeps getting stuck to my teeth. I'm gonna spit it out. So whenever I did Weight Watchers back in the early 2000s, I had a red Chevy Cavalier. And I put on weight in my butt. That's like a huge place that I put on my weight. I carry a lot of it in my butt. It's like extra, extra big. And whenever I lost weight back then, I felt like that I needed a booster seat to sit in my car because I could no longer see the same way over my steering wheel because I had lost so much weight in my butt and it wasn't propping me up the way that it did. And that car didn't have the functionality to, boost that. So it was so weird. And it was like one of those things just like all of a sudden one day you notice it and you're like, wow, that's really weird. Non-scale victories can kind of sneak up on you. You don't realize that things are happening. So it's hard to celebrate them whenever they do happen, but it is worth celebrating. It's worth thinking about and cheering yourself on and letting yourself know that you are proud and and saying to yourself, I did that. I did that. I did that. Because a lot of times the voices in our head, they want to tell us that we're not good enough, we're worthless, we're not, doing the right things, we're not determined, we're not motivated, we're not, the stupid voices in our head. But whenever we notice something that is a victory, we need to stop for a second and say, I did that. I achieved that. I worked hard and this was the fruits of my labor. Like, non-scale victories are amazing. And they give us that drive to continue on. They give us the energy to keep going. They can fuel us to bigger and better things. Have to move all my hats down a size. See, that's something you would never think of. Have to move your hats down a size. Like, a lot of people talk about shoes. Shoes is a big thing. Like, you might lose like a size to a half a size in shoes whenever you lose weight because your feet, swell up. But hats, that's another one for sure. Hats, new holes in your belt for sure. That is definitely a non-scale victory. That's showing inches lost from an XX large to a large. That is a huge non-scale victory. From a 4X to an XL. Hey Bella, hi, how are you? Welcome to the live stream. This is the ABCs of weight loss, and today we're talking about words that begin with the letter N. We're currently on the word non-scale victory. And we're sharing our non-scale victories with one another because we are here to celebrate, encourage, and support one another. We're all friends here. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to comment. But please share your non-scale victories. Almost a full size in shoes. That one I'm not happy about because I love my shoes. Yeah, it's hard whenever you invest money in shoes and then they're like too big. That's a bummer. So definitely going to restaurants and fitting into booths and chairs, chairs with arms, like huge non-scale victory. Crossing my legs, huge non-scale victory. Just the amount of naps I need in my life compared to when I was 266 pounds at my heaviest. I like on the weekends to do all of my household chores and stuff. I would just wear myself out. I would just get so tired. I would need a nap. And now I've got like so much energy and I don't need naps as much as I used to. That's a huge non-scale victory. That's a result of exercise. That's a result of losing weight, not needing naps. Like, how much time have I gained by not needing naps? And also the quality of sleep at night from losing weight. This is something that we shouldn't take for granted, is the quality of sleep that we get at night. I don't know if any of you have been, diagnosed with weight-related sleep apnea, but as we lose weight, we can kind of help to alleviate some of that. And we sleep better. So we have to be in bed for a shorter amount of time to get the same quality of sleep. That's a non-scale victory. I have so much planned for this Saturday. My mom was like, "Yep, you've changed. You do have a lot planned for this Saturday." Oh my gosh, you're like gonna drive like an hour, go for a walk, and then drive another hour. Then you're gonna build some Legos. That's a busy day. That's a jam-packed day. So it's things like that, being able to have a jam-packed day. That's a non-scale victory. And these small little changes. And the thing is, we need to remember them. And if you're not good at remembering, put them in the Notes app on your phone. Just write down your non-scale victories as they come up. Write them in your journal. Write them down somewhere. Make a list. Have somewhere that you can flip to and write them down, because weight loss isn't always easy. And every day is not always great. And there's going to be times where you might think about quitting, giving up, thinking that it's not worth it, thinking like, what is it all about? What is it all for anyway? And you can look at those non-scale victories and you can read them and read about fitting, read about feeling good, read about sleeping better, reading about naturally gravitating to healthier choices. And it gives you some strength to continue on, to not quit, to fight another day, to keep moving forward. So that's why the little non-scale victories are so important. Yeah, I heard you're gonna like be on with her on Saturday for the live stream. So everybody, if you're new here and you don't know your palm mystery and you don't know Kirsten Quick Fit, you need to check both of them out. Whew. Is that a 2-bang day? Do you ever have 2 bangs in a day? Or is it normally just 1 bang in a day? Oh, wow. You're testing camera setup tomorrow. How exciting. That's a huge non-scale victory. That's big. Look, Misty's going to become a fitness instructor. You just watch. 5 years down the road. Oh, no, never 2 in a day. I suppose I could, but don't need it. Ooh, Cheryl's got a birthday. Is your birthday on Friday, Cheryl? Misty is not. Misty is not. Had my workout and I hurt everywhere. Great to see ya. Whew. I'm trying to get my workouts, trying to get back to regular. And right now I'm just kind of trying to get back to my routine, where before I wasn't doing anything when I was sick. Now I'm trying to slowly get back to routine. So I might not be able to do the intensity that I was doing before I was sick, but I'm at least getting out there and using that time to do some form of exercise. But I get really tired really fast. So I can't go to the same extremes that I was, not that it was extreme, but I can't go to that full level that I was doing exercise before. I'd be the type to learn about it, get certification just to learn about it. I bet you would. That's my husband. My husband is constantly learning. Never stops learning. Any other non-scale victories does anybody want to share with us today? Any other non-scale victories? Anything that was like extremely, moving, or made you really feel pride, or anything like that? Before I move on, because I got another word. And if you want to guess the next word, you can try and guess the next word. It is also a hyphenated word. It's not as much of a liberty as non-scale victory, since that's 3 words and I made it 1. But yeah. So No guesses. No guesses for the next word. No guesses. Okay, so the next word is drum roll, please. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. So, how do you think non-negotiable applies to weight loss? What do you think? How do you think that non-negotiable applies to weight loss? Yeah, I make the rules. Do it anyway. It's non-negotiable. You got to do it anyway. Yep. Non-negotiable. So it's kind of like a boundary. And the thing is that there are a lot of diets out there that want to set the rules for you. But I want to implore everybody to kind of make the rules for themselves and what rules work for you. And what are your non-negotiables? So if you're the type of person who does a lot of snacking, overeating, out of control eating in the car, maybe you need to set yourself a rule that it's non-negotiable that you don't eat in the car anymore. Like if you need a snack, if you're hungry, you can pull over, you can get yourself something to eat and you can eat it, but you can't eat it in your car. It's your new non-negotiable rule that you set for your self-benefit. Non-negotiable is you only hit the snooze button twice in the morning. You don't let it go 3, 4 times. Because whenever you let it go 3, 4 times, then you're running late, then you're behind, then you're crabby, then you can't prep your meal, then you can't do this, then you can't do that, and your whole day spirals out of control. So it's non-negotiable. And it's a boundary. And then you choose to live within that boundary that you set yourself. It's non-negotiable. Now, there's an exception to every rule, and it's never going to be 100%. But the closer you can get to making that rule for you that you've set in your best interest for your future self, for yourself today, for yourself tomorrow, the better you're going to be. So we work towards, achieving that non-negotiable and making it non-negotiable and keeping the exceptions to like the bare minimum. Like I was in bed, sick, couldn't move, gonna throw up, all the things. So I couldn't do my exercise. Like I was dead. But the rest of the time is non-negotiable. And I did try and get up and walk the dog a few days and do my exercise. And then it knocked me flat on my ass. But it was one of those things that I just feel like I have to do. I have to go do it because it's one of my non-negotiables. So does anybody already have in place a non-negotiable that they apply in their personal life? A non-negotiable. One of my non-negotiables is drinking water. I at least get in 32 ounces of water, like no other beverage, every single day. I also drink coffee. Sometimes I'll drink diet soda. But I always get in at least 32 ounces of purified water. Just, it's not purified, it's tap water. But water. Every single day. Also, if it's above 20 degrees, there is a caveat on it. But if it's above 20 degrees, I take the dog for his morning walk. every day. That is non-negotiable unless it's under 20 degrees. That's on the rule. It's in there because I don't always like the cold. I don't always like the cold. Hello, Sharon. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. We're talking about non-negotiables right now. What is a non-negotiable in your life? Oh, that's a good one. That I love that one, Misty. I don't allow myself to eat a food without at least planning on it for more than 24 hours to make sure that I want it. So that's just like, just because I'm craving something doesn't mean I have to have it right away. It is not urgent. It is not an emergency. If I really want this food, then let me make a plan for it. And then I'll have it then. But just because I'm craving it right now doesn't mean I have to have it. So that is so a beautiful rule. So that falls into like my whole weight loss thing is that every day whenever I wake up, I get up and I make a 24-hour realistic plan. These are the foods that I'm going to eat today within the next 24 hours. Now, just because somebody comes to work and they bring in some cookies or they bring in some catered food or whatever it is, that wasn't on my plan. So I stick to my plan because that's what I plan to eat today. Not because food shows up, because it was convenient, because I'm craving it. If I want those foods, I can have them, but I need to plan for them. Non-negotiable, physical therapy exercises for my back. Yes. Non-negotiable. Got to get them done. Got to feel good. Got to get that back in working order. For sure. My non-negotiable is reaching burnout. I'm learning to slow down when I need to, even when the pressure is building up. And it seems like I can't take a break. I do what's best for me now. It means that overall, I'm more able to chase my goals when I have enough energy to do so rather than crashing and being inconsistent. So true. That's a cherry lifesaver. Yum, yum. Uh, sorry. That's excellent, Bella. That is so excellent. So, yeah, don't reach the point of burnout. Like non negotiable, I'm not going to push myself that far. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take some breaths. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to do what I need to do so I don't reach burnout. Because burnout's not helpful. So, whenever I feel like I'm getting to that point, I take care of me and I take a step back so that I can continue on. That is a huge one. That is a very valuable lesson and it's a hard lesson to learn. It's a very hard lesson to learn. So many fries have not been eaten because the next day I realized I didn't want it now. That moment has passed and it has helped a ton. I stick to my plan and I don't let unplanned events derail me. So that is so huge. Like, we are going to be confronted with food so much. If one of the reasons why I don't eat what I eat in a day videos is because I feel like I'm bombarded with images of food all the time. And I just choose not to watch them all the time in for the sake of being a supportive person, because it's not supportive to who I am. Because whenever I see the food, sometimes I get cravings, and then there's discussions and talks and stuff that I have to have with myself about it. And it's just easier for me that if I choose not to watch that kind of content, I already know what I like to eat. I don't need to watch what I eat in a day videos. So for me, they're not something that I enjoy watching. It's just not something that's for me. And so, like I was trying to say, was we get bombarded with these images of food, and we get bombarded with the smells of food. And it's so easy to give into our eye hunger or our nose hunger or our head hunger whenever it's not our stomach that is hungry and craving food. It's all of our other senses that are craving the food. But it's just a craving, and the craving normally passes in a minute or 2 minutes. How many times have you been to a Mexican restaurant and somebody comes out with a sizzling plate of fajitas, and then you're like, oh, fajitas? Because it just looks so appealing, and it sounds so appealing, and it smells so appealing. But you didn't come in there for fajitas. You came in there for something else. But once that plate goes by with the sizzle and the smell and the smoke and the everything, now you want fajitas. It's just a craving because your senses were bombarded. So I choose to not bombard my senses with things whenever I don't feel like I'm in the most control of myself. That's a great one. Make sure I make any appointments so they don't interfere when I want to exercise. We have to set our plans up, our daily lives. We need to make them work for us. When do you feel like doing your exercise? When do you feel like doing your meal prep? When do you feel like doing your grocery shopping? Set yourself up for success. Just like Sharon sets her appointments so it doesn't interfere with when she wants to exercise, we have to do that. Non-negotiable. Same thing. That's why I get up and I do my exercise in the morning, because then it's an easy non-negotiable. But if I say I'm going to do my exercise at 5 o'clock at night, it's not a true non-negotiable, because I start negotiating with myself about how, but I really need to do chores and I really need to do that. Or I'm so tired from the day and I just want to relax. In the morning, it's easy for me to make it a non-negotiable. But in the evening, it's not as easy for me to make it non-negotiable. So I make it work for me. And when I can really accurately, truly say that it's a non-negotiable. If I find myself saying negative stuff to myself and stop and make myself say positive things and mean them, non-negotiable. That is a beautiful non-negotiable. That's like a habit worth saying, I did that 30 days this month. I tried to say something negative to myself and I turned it around into a positive. Because we all have the bad habit of saying negative stuff. What if we took a tip from Misty and said it's non-negotiable? When I hear myself saying something negative, I'm going to find something positive to say about myself. And it doesn't have to be weight loss related. Like if you're saying something negative, you could be like, but I'm a good dog mom. But I made my bed today. Whatever it is, just turn it into something positive. I'd rather be a little hungry and make the choices I know I had planned. It's not easy, but that's why it's non-negotiable. Yeah, it is not easy. When you plan food and you're like, this is what I'm going to eat today, It is not easy. Your brain will throw up so many reasons why not to eat that food. So many reasons. But when you can make it non-negotiable, when you can say, nope, this is what we plan, this is what we're eating, this is what we're going to do, and do it, it feels good, actually, to be able to keep your word to yourself, to make promises to yourself. And whenever you keep your word to yourself and you keep your promises to yourself, it makes you feel better about yourself. It makes things a lot easier. It's amazing, like, just how that one little small action can, like, snowball and have different repercussions. Hello, Carol. Hello, welcome. The trick was to not give myself that freedom, even though I ended up going. Oh, wow. That was a trick. Yeah, I am terrible about trying to exercise later in the day. It is like, it hardly ever works for me. I gotta do it. I gotta do it first thing in the morning, and I gotta get it done, and then I feel good and everything. But I got tired of setting myself up for failure and saying I'm gonna exercise at night. Whenever, for whatever reason, I just don't do it. But I will exercise in the morning. So I just make it easy on myself and just do it in the morning because that's when I know I'll get it done. We we 100% lie to ourselves more than we would ever lie to anyone else, I think. I am so glad I'm not alone in the lying to myself thing because I lie to myself so much. I change the truth. I excuses. I reality is a whole different thing than what the real reality is. Like, yeah. I prefer weights at night, to be honest. Not sure why, but right now it's working for me. That's awesome. I make up the best excuses. I make up the worst excuses. I make up the worst excuses. Finding a way to make non-negotiables work for you. And again, there's always going to be an exception. Even when you say something's non-negotiable, there's going to be times that things slip in. But set your boundaries regarding things. I love that it's non-negotiable. Sharon's like, I'm setting my appointments later in the day because I got to get my exercise in. I love how Misty is like, it's non-negotiable. I plan to eat this food. That's the food that I'm going to eat today. I love that. I love that it's non-negotiable. Even if I'm tired, even if it's cold outside, to a certain extent, I'm going to, get my morning walk in. As part of what I do. It's a non-negotiable. It's also non-negotiable to get to the store and to buy foods that are going to be healthy and good for me so that I have those options available to me. That one's been the hardest one for me to actually implement is that I go to the store and get those foods. But I do it in the best interest of myself. If you need medication in order to, avoid some terrible thing, it's non-negotiable that you take it. You've set in your reminders. You've gotten into the habit to do it. You take care of yourself because it is absolutely imperative that you take that medicine. It wasn't an easy habit to get into. You might have had to have somebody remind you. You might have had to set 3 reminders. You might have had to freak out about it a few times. But it became a non-negotiable because it was necessary for you to take that medication for your health. These small behaviors, there are behaviors in your life that are just as important. just as important as taking medication, but we don't always think about it that way. But there's some things that really are. And if you change your mind and the way that you think about it, and you decide that this is non-negotiable, this is what I do for me, for my health, for my benefit, for my betterment, for my existence, it makes it easier. I just finished my salad with blackened chicken. Mm-mm-mm. My husband grilled hamburgers. They're the best if we can talk ourselves into them. Okay, so today, non-scale victories. Don't forget to celebrate your non-scale victories. They are what it's all about, really. And we have to, it's not all about goal weight. It's about these small moments in time along the way as we lose the weight. These joyous moments. That's what it's about. And there's going to be more of them. But remember your non-scale victories. Write them down. Celebrate them. Applaud yourself. Tell yourself, I did that. Take the ownership for what you did because you deserve it. You've done amazing, amazing things. And I'm proud of you for that. And then non-negotiables. If you don't have a non-negotiable, maybe it's time to think about implementing a non-negotiable. Maybe it's time that you needed to add a new non-negotiable into your life. It's just a rule. It's just a boundary that you set for yourself in order to live your happiest, healthiest life. It's really simple. And it's not a total non-negotiable, blah, blah, blah. There's always an exception, always an exception. But it's going to be a good rule and a good guidance for you and just a way that you live by your life. It's just part of you is like a moral or ethic, or I don't know what the right word is here, kind of like that. Anyway, so those are the two big words today. I hope you guys enjoyed the ABCs of weight loss. Next week, we're going to be talking about the letter O. Same time, 4 o'clock Central Time on Sunday. I hope you can join me. Don't forget to like the stream. And if you would do so kind, come back and leave me a comment because it helps the channel and it helps the video out with the YouTube algorithm. So with all of that being said, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. As always, it's going to be an adventure.